What is up, guys? Abixis here, coming at you with the tier list for the new Overwatch season with the Maga update. I'm going to go through this as quickly as possible. I've been trying to do that with these new Overwatch videos because I don't want to take your guys' time up. And I know most of you guys prefer the quick, simple format, and you just really want to see where these people are going to be going. So keep in mind, this is just my opinion, and I'm going to be talking about it, what I think you should be using to climb out of bronze, silver, gold, and platinum primarily. But I mean, if you want to use this in diamond or above, you can. But it's just my opinion on what you should be basically learning or attempting to play if you're in those elos. Let's get right into it. Soldier 76. We had a small nerf to biotic healing, putting him in the B tier. I think he's just going to be a solid hit scan. I don't think he's going to be amazing, but he is a solid pick at the moment. I can't really go wrong. Zarya, solid pick once again. Not a pick into every situation, so keep an eye on when to switch. I'm going to say that a lot in this video for many heroes. So know when to switch on Zarya. Sometimes you're going to have her and she's going to be a great pick. Sometimes she's not. Same thing with Widowmaker, B tier. If you're great at Widowmaker, she's good. I don't tend to recommend her to low elo players, but I put her around a B tier because if you're really good at that type of gameplay, you can actually become an absolute monstrosity with Widowmaker. But again, know when to switch. Winston, I'm going to actually talk about Winston real quick. I think Winston's going to be an A tier. I really like dive right now. I really like the dive tanks. Winston primarily is used as a dive tank, and I think he fits really, really well into the current meta. I do think that Winston has a very high skill ceiling for low elo players to pick up, but if you learn the basics, you can get an absolute huge amount of value out of Winston without a ton of effort, so just try to learn him. Lifeweaver, C tier. Still don't think Lifeweaver is really worth learning. He's got an interesting kit. I still think he's struggling to find his footing in the current meta, and I don't love him as a pick at the moment. Zenyatta also going to go in C tier. Sorry, C tier. Zen has been trending downward for me recently because there's one thing about Zen you can always say is that he is a carry support when there aren't that many in the game, but there are starting to become a lot more carry supports. And I just think a lot of supports do his job better than him at the moment. If you're going to play Zen, please make sure you know what you're doing, because if you are playing Zen over some other healers, he has one of the lowest inherent values in the game if you're playing him poorly. Not managing your orbs. Now, the Orb of Discord is a high inherent value ability. However, with the way that it's been changed recently, it's easier to get less value on. So just pay attention to what you're doing with him. And yeah. Genji, I still think Genji's a C tier, especially for low elo players. Recommend a couple other characters over him. And obviously just stick to somebody else, in my opinion. But if you are really good at Genji, once again, you could play him. Allari is somebody that I'm actually really struggling to figure out because Allari is just a character I blatantly suck at, apparently. But based on the research I've done on her, she is actually really good in low elo. If you could pull her off, she just does not click with me in the slightest for some reason. By far, maybe the worst hero for me in the game, which is crazy. But yeah, for me, she's not A tier. She's like F tier. But to recommend to a low elo player, I think she's A tier. Lucio, I really like right now, especially. I feel like he's very good in the current meta. And with Lucio, once again, inherent value is huge. And the skill ceiling on Lucio gives you a lot to be able to practice and learn. Ramatra, where is Ramatra? Ramatra, I really, really like Ramatra. I'm borderlining him in S tier, but I think there's a couple tanks that I put above him right now. That is the only reason I am putting him there. To me, Ram is extremely good, and you have buffs coming with his armor update, so I think that's going to be really good for him. Sombra's interesting. Now, with Sombra's new buff, with the new one that just came out, doubling her ability lockout, I'm going to put her in B. Why? Because I think the new Sombra is actually much harder to play. She's much better right now, but difficult to pull off good Sombra play. Much easier heroes to get value out of. I think if you're going in higher elo, she's way higher than this, but for this purpose, she's there. Ashe, a solid A tier, all-arounder, great hit scan. If you want to pick one hero to master in Overwatch 2 as a low elo DPS, a character that's going to carry to high elo and be able to just kind of be a do-it-all and pick every game if you really want to type character, Ashe is a great go-to. Moira's going C at the moment. I'm not loving Moira in the current setup. I don't like where she's at as a character. And I think that something needs to happen with Moira, because Moira has never been a character that I've been able to recommend to people, just because the way she's played in low elo tends to be damage heavy. She tends to not get enough healing value, and in high elo, I also don't find Moira to be very viable. So Moira stays in C. Pharah, C. If you have a pocket, she goes B. But as a solo queuer, we're gonna assume you're solo queuing, C tier. Anna is tough, but high A. Anna has been nerfed into the ground many of times, but she still finds value because she is just one of the best designed characters in the entire freaking game. So we're gonna put her there. Sojourn. Sojourn's one of my DPS picks of this patch. I think Sojourn has been trending upwards. I really like Sojourn at the moment, and I'm definitely confident recommending her as a pick. She's not as broken as she was. She's finally found a balance point. Very happy to see that, and she's an A tier pick for me. Hog. Oh my lord! Finally, I don't have to put Hog in F tier anymore. I love these new changes. Hog is going in B tier reluctantly. I might put him a little higher, but I have to get a little bit more playtime with him. I have to see how he works in the Mauga meta, but I'm happy to say Hog is viable again. You could play Hog without feeling like you're absolutely screwing your team over, and I'm very happy to see it. Orisa, B tier, good tank, but just some better picks. Mauga, let's talk about the Mauga. I think Mauga is going to be a top tank, but I'm putting him in A because I don't want to jump the gun. I jumped the gun with Ramatra, and I ended up being right, but I also have jumped the gun with new heroes in the past and was totally wrong. So we're going to put him in A, but I think all these buffs that they gave him might have overdone it a little, and that's where we're at. Going into my pick of the patch for tank, Sigma. Why is it Sigma? Sigma has high skill ceiling, low skill floor, easy to play, hard to master, fits all the things I like for you to play in low elo to help you learn the game and to still be able to carry, and he's very viable in the current meta. He doesn't have a lot of counter matchups. Sigma overall is just a do-it-all tank. Pick of the patch for support is Kiriko. This could have easily been Anna, but for some reason I just find Kiriko to be a little bit easier for low elo players to pick up. She's much easier to heal bot with if you want to do that. She's got carry potential. Suzu's a big ability. Kitsune Rush is a huge ability. Kiriko's been strong for pretty much the entirety of Overwatch 2, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Speaking of another good healer, Baptiste. Baptiste goes A. Very solid. Little nerf, but I still think he will be an all-around good, just heal bot. Reaper in high elo right now, I would not recommend him very much, but in the lowest of low and in the mid tier as well, I think he is a very solid pick. Reaper is very easy to play, decently hard to master. Almost all heroes are hard to master, but he's got, a lot of inherent value built into his kit, and he's hard to not get value on, is my point. I like him for low elo players. Reinhardt, man, Ryan, my boy, you have been kind of bad recently. I want to put him in a reluctant C. I think C tier is where I'm putting characters that I'd like to bully a little more, but I don't want to do it. Ryan's a C. My boy has seen better days. Don't love him right now. There you go. Wrecking Ball, C. Don't love Wrecking Ball right now either. Not the best hero in the game. Cassidy, I'm going to go with my original pick. I was going to put him in B as well, but I just find Soldier to be better. So if you got your hit scan tiers, this is where they're at for me at the moment. Please remember, this is just an opinion. He goes there. Hanzo, you got a really cool skin, so I'm going to give you the B tier. Why B tier for Hanzo? He's finally found a little bit of a footing in the current Overwatch 2 gameplay loop, but I still think there are much better picks. I'd probably pick everybody in B tier over him, but I still don't think, I think I'd pick Hanzo over all these people in C tier at the current moment. Doomfist, I don't like Doom. Do not like him. Doom is one of the easiest ways to piss your team off. If you are great at him, he could be good. But even then, if you're great at him, you're better off being great at someone else. Doom mains, I'm so sorry to you because they have mistreated your character so poorly since this game has come out. And yeah, I am sorry about that. Torbjorn, we'll put Torbjorn in C as well. C is like the, let's call this the playable tier. Pretty much everybody's playable, but playable for Torbjorn. Sim, situational pick, C tier. Sim is one of those people that you can kind of one trick all the way up, but I still, once again, find her to be very situational. Echo, holy crap, I almost forgot about Echo. A tier for Echo, love Echo. Getting a little bit frustrated with the way her ult feels recently. Not quite sure why. That's just a skill issue though for me. Tracer, A tier. If you can learn to play Tracer, you can climb all the way to Grandmaster. Reluctantly would put her in S tier, but very, very hard to play. Very easy to get no value on. So if you're struggling, please switch. Know when to switch, but just target the backline, guys. Target supports, pick their healers, and you'll get inherent value, no problem. Bastion, B, solid B. I like him in B. I'm not going to go too much into depth on him. Junkie Boy C. Junkie Boy's a solid character right now, but I don't see him going anywhere higher than that. Brig, solid, better pick. There are better picks for low elo. Diva, I like Diva quite a bit. Putting her in A tier with her boy. I think both dive tanks are good to play right now, and again, know when to switch, but good picks. Joker Queen, Scattergun, got a small buff. Still think she's solid. May, I think she is a whopping C. I think she's playable, but I would not pick her over some of the higher picks. And Mercy. Just kidding. I don't know. C tier probably for Mercy. She's playable as well. Now, guys, thank you for watching. I did end up doing this a little bit differently than normal. I put a playable. The reason I was going with a lot of people in C tier is I feel like these are picks that I can't tell you are going to be amazing, but they're definitely. You can pick the character and play them in certain situations. They're going to be fine. B, characters that are good. If you're maining these characters, you're probably fine. A, these are characters I would 100% recommend you to main. If you can master them, you're going to be able to climb with them, no problem at all. And S tier, there are two characters I think are your best bets right now if you're learning a new role. Sigma and Kiriko for DPS. Either Sojourn, Ashe, or Tracer or Echo will be good. None of them are really that much above the others. I think these are all solid ones to learn. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment down below. If you're going to say some crazy psychotic stuff, please don't comment down below. We don't really read those. If you have a disagreement or you would like to see a different way of doing the tier list, please tell us, because we have changed the tier list before based on feedback. I know we wanted to be more specific on the low elo side of things, that we are doing it for low elo, so we did that. And also a couple character disagreements. We ended up kind of learning a little bit from the fans, and we've changed our opinions before based on user feedback, so please also let us know about that. Other than that, guys, thank you guys for watching. Really, these videos usually do pretty well, so I really appreciate it. Go check out our other stuff if you want to. Subscribe if you want to. Like if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. And I will see you in the next one.